Ryazan has become the latest Russian region to introduce bounties for citizens who find recruits to join the Russian army. The initiative has raised concerns that slaves and vulnerable people will be sold to the army for profit, as has already happened in some cases. Russia also has a widespread problem with slavery, with an estimated 1.9 million people in involuntary servitude. The bounties are worth far more than the resale value of the slaves, reportedly prompting owners to effectively sell them to the army. A Ukrainian soldier destroyed a Russian bunker at close range with a grenade launcher in Donetsk region. In Ukraine, brutal close quarters and even hand-to-hand combat have become increasingly common, especially in trench warfare and urban assaults. Ukrainian pilots from Signum identified a Russian camp called Rublevka in the Lyman sector. The site included shelters, vehicles, and supplies. The camp was destroyed after aerial reconnaissance. By the way, Rublevka is an elite district near Moscow. Ukrainian drone operators are constantly scanning the battlefield to uncover hidden Russian positions, camouflaged shelters, underground bunkers, ammo depots, and mobile headquarters. Using thermal imaging, AI-assisted mapping, and long-range surveillance, these drones expose targets that were once invisible to traditional reconnaissance. Once located, these positions are swiftly targeted with precision artillery, loitering munitions, or FPV drones, disrupting command structures and crippling logistics deep behind enemy lines. It's impossible to understand what's going on in Putin's head because it's sick and twisted thinking, said U.S. Ambassador to NATO Matthew Whitaker.
Ambassador, what do you think Putin is thinking right now? That the clock is ticking towards Friday. Chess moves are being made over there militarily. But what is going through Putin's mind right now?
Yeah, well, it's good to be with you, Rob. I think, it's impossible to get in the mind of Vladimir Putin because it's sick and twisted and probably not logical. But, I'm guessing that he doesn't want to take on the most powerful military in the world, which is the United States of America. And he knows that his only source of income right now in a major way is his oil and gas exports. And if the United States of America, according to President Trump, sanctions those, puts significant impacting tariffs on his exports of oil and gas to India and Russia and China and Brazil, I think that's a significant move, and that could really undercut his ability to fund this war. Remember, he's paying the equivalent of about $100,000 a year to new soldiers that are signing up. And so it's unsustainable anyway, but I think him lashing out against civilians in Ukraine shows just how weak his hand is right now.
Obviously, President Trump lost patience with Putin. It went from 50 days to, a lot less than that. And as I said, Friday is the deadline at this point. Steve Witkoff, the special envoy, I don't know if he's there yet in Russia, but if not, he's on his way. What do you think Witkoff is able to pull off, if anything, right now with Putin?
Yeah, well, I know Steve. He's a very talented diplomat. Obviously, he's going there. Very soon, if he's not already there, to deliver an ultimatum. And that ultimatum is going to be that, get a ceasefire in place. The time is now. Stop the killing. That's what President Trump really wants, is an end to the killing. 1,000 soldiers almost every single day are dying on the battlefield. And then you have these civilian casualties that we're hearing about overnight, every single night, it seems like. And, President Trump wants peace. He's a peacemaker.
A volcano on Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula has begun erupting for the first time in 600 years. According to local scientists, the eruption of the Krasheninnikov volcano sent an ash plume up to 6,000 meters into the sky. They say that there is no threat to nearby settlements. There are simply none along the path of the ash cloud. No tourists were reported in the area at the time of the eruption. This is the first eruption ever recorded in the history of observations. Based on preliminary estimates, the last time lava erupted from this volcano was around the year 1463. The Krasheninnikov volcano is located in central Kamchatka, a region home to one of the highest concentrations of active volcanoes on Earth, part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. While dozens of other volcanoes in the area erupt frequently, Krasheninnikov had remained dormant for centuries, its last activity long predating any scientific records. Russian volcanologists from the Institute of Volcanology and Seismology are now monitoring seismic activity closely, warning that further eruptions are possible. Satellite imagery shows fresh lava flows and significant ground deformation, indicating a deeper magma movement that could trigger more powerful events in the coming days or weeks. Ask ChatGPT. French defense manufacturer Arquus has delivered Bastion armored vehicles to Ukraine following 3 years of testing and evaluation, La Tribune reports. The Bastion vehicles, built on the VLRA chassis by Arquus subsidiary AceMat, underwent a complete cycle of testing before being handed over to the Ukrainian armed forces. Ukrainian forces had previously trialed several lower-cost models before officially requesting the Bastion and placing an order. The Ukrainian side opted for a true entry-level armored vehicle, the Bastion, Bertrand Boyard of Arquus announced. Plans to supply 11 Bastion vehicles were first announced in April 2023, but the order was subsequently put on hold. Arquus attributed the delay to the absence of a formal intergovernmental agreement between France and Ukraine. In May 2024, Arquus CEO Emmanuel Levasseur confirmed that production of the vehicles was underway. Delivery was scheduled for July 2024. The company added that it could produce up to 100 additional units if requested by Ukraine. During the delay, Arquus supplied similar vehicles to Armenia. The Bastions were seen in transit through Georgia in November 2023. Shortly beforehand, French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna had visited Yerevan, where she announced that France would sign a military equipment supply agreement with Armenia. France has previously emphasized its preference for strengthening Europe's defense industrial base and has been cautious about supporting Ukraine through U.S. arms purchases. The Bundeswehr has stabilized its personnel numbers amid growing public interest in military service, according to the German Ministry of Defense. As of July 21, 2025, the Bundeswehr had approximately 183,100 active duty troops, over 2,000 more than on the same date in 2024. The upward trend continued last year. In 2024, the Bundeswehr recorded a record intake of about 2,300 new recruits, up 8% from 2023. Of those, some 1,500 joined on a professional or conscription basis. The number of volunteers, Freiwilliger Wehrdienst Leistende, rose by 15% to 11,350. According to the ministry, interest in Bundeswehr careers increased by 31% year-on-year, in line with broader recruitment trends. Officials attributed the growth to successful outreach campaigns combining digital marketing, social media, mobile advisory points, and youth education programs under the Agenda Attractivität. The ministry stated that the positive trend will help maintain a high-quality force and support the Bundeswehr's long-term strengthening. With around 1,000 career options, the Bundeswehr is an attractive employer. But the security environment also plays a role. People consciously want to take responsibility for Germany's security by joining the Bundeswehr, the ministry's press office noted. Militarny previously reported that the Defense Ministry had prepared 3 potential models for reintroducing conscription. The first approach would involve sending voluntary questionnaires along with informational materials to adults. The second would make the questionnaires and potential medical checks mandatory for men, but voluntary for women.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.